We bring some young athletes into the studio, and we get to meet some young people who are, especially young ladies, that are taking the sports scene by storm. And the San Diego State women's basketball team, of course, you guys know I'm a part of that. 10-1, off to a great start this year, and two of the reasons why are with us in studio, both freshmen, both just 18 years of age, Naomi Panganiban and Nat Martinez. And just to give you a tad of background, Nat has already been named the Freshman of the Week in the Mountain West twice, and Naomi just won it last week. So we're like a month into the season, and these guys are winning all these awards and helping this team. And welcome to the show, ladies. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Are you glad that I actually asked for you two knuckleheads?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, because I know that I knew you guys would probably, hopefully have fun and just relax and kick back and talk a little bit about. First, why don't you, Nat, start a little bit with the being on this team and what you expected and what you've seen so far in this 10-1 start.
Yeah, I mean, just being on this team, we're a really close-knit family. So when we went to Cancun and we showed out against these Power 5 teams, it just showed how much of a chemistry we already have at the beginning of the season. And then hopefully at the end, it'll all work out.
Naomi, you went to school locally, La Jolla Country Day, and chose to stay home at San Diego State, and you got great support from your family. You said you wanted to play at home in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Are you having as much fun as you thought?
I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I feel like San Diego is like the best city in the country. So
it is.
Good call.
I couldn't imagine leaving.
There's no bias there. I think that's just a natural fact. We were talking before we came on. Both of you guys had terrific second options. I mean, Nat, you could have gone to Berkeley. Naomi, you could have gone to Harvard. You both end up here, and I imagine as a senior going into your freshman year of college, there's questions on what this is going to look like from a basketball standpoint and from a student-athlete standpoint. How different was it than you imagined it when you got there, or was it kind of exactly what you thought it would be? I'll start with you, Nat.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like my high school coach really prepared me because he put a lot of D1 players out. So having me on like practice 2 times a day, workout, lift, really getting me prepared. So when I did come to San Diego State, it wasn't really anything new.
Yeah.
Naomi?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I kind of expected like the physical side, the mental side, and I think it's just everything I expected pretty much.
The one thing that has impressed me about both of these players, Tony, and I tell them both, is their confidence in their own abilities. And both of these kids are fearless. We have them in studio. They're both listed at 5'7". Is that accurate, Naomi? Are you really 5'7", you think?
I'd say with shoes.
With shoes.
Hey, that's the only time we see you. It's with shoes. So I think that's
now
that's
you're going to go with 5'7"? You sticking with it?
Yep.
With shoes. But both of these kids go into the paint and they attack. They both have good, outside shots, but they don't just walk around on the perimeter. They go in and they make things happen. I think Naomi leads the team in free throw attempts, which tells me she's getting to the line. She's going in there, and so both of these kids play with fearlessness. And I asked them, I ask you, Nat, where you get some of that and some of your toughness. I know we were talking about it, but kind of explain where you got your game from.
Yeah, just growing up with brothers around. I mean, them just tossing me. We're playing 2v2 in the backyard, and then just, tossing me on the floor really taught me that I need to stand up for myself. So when I go back and I'm playing against these, women and girls, it's just like, it's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Describe you guys' game, Naomi. We start with you. Describe your game. Obviously, Chris says you get into the foul line quite a bit. Probably means you're spending some time in the paint. What kind of ball player are you?
I mean, I would probably describe my game like I can score all 3 levels, I'd say. And I like to get my teammates involved, facilitate a little bit, and I feel like when I'm facilitating, it helps me be able to score a little bit more, give me that confidence. So.
Nat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same. I would say I'm a playmaker. I do love shooting the 3-ball. I would say that's my specialty right now.
I agree.
Well, you're from the Bay
That's a
Area.
sharpshooter.
Is there anybody up there you know of that shoots good threes?
You know, when you watch Stephen Curry every single day.
Yeah, I was going to say. Now, Nat had I'm going to share this story, and it's going to embarrass her a little bit. I'm sorry to do that, but she probably knows where I'm going here. But we were playing Wisconsin, and they're down. This is a big game for San Diego State, playing a Big Ten school in Cancun. Team is down by 3 late in the fourth quarter. Nat makes a 3 to tie the game. Next possession, Nat makes another 3 to put him ahead. Next possession, Nat tries a 3 and gets fouled. As she's coming to the free throw line for 3 crucial free throws to try to put the game away, for whatever reason, she glances up in the crowd and spots me announcing the game and has the moxie to wink at me as if to say, don't worry, I got this.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I did.
And I asked her about this. I said, did that really happen? And?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't know what happened. I seen Chris. I was like, oh, I know him. All right, I'm about to make these free throws.
And she made them, and we won the game. So, I mean, that you don't see that with the freshmen. That's almost a Kobe Bryant type thing, Tony. You don't see that.
That's some serious confidence. Obviously, you guys rolled in here your freshman year. You guys are off to a terrific start. You guys mentioned how tight-knit this team is. Did you kind of have that sense as you guys were being recruited to come to this school that you would be walking into a pretty family-oriented basketball team?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, we had 0 transfers this past year, so I think that's just testament to the culture and the program and how, like, the coaches are very welcoming. So, yeah, I think I kind of expected it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was a good sign when nobody transferred, right? I mean, kids
Especially
are transferring
age,
everywhere.
right?
And we've had Stacy on, Stacy Terry Hudson, and I mean, she's really made a great program right now, and it's starting to really develop. Now, Naomi, I told the Nat embarrassing story. I don't know if I have one quite as embarrassing for Naomi, but I do know that, again, when we were in Cancun and they had Thanksgiving out there for all the teams and so we're all sitting out there, thousands of kids and parents sitting around the tables. And then after the dinner, they had a bunch of music up on stage, and they're banging on drums, and it was weird, whatever the music was. And they invited people to come up on stage. Her whole team nominated Naomi to be the one to go up on stage. That told me something about your personality a little bit, that you're outgoing and you like to have some fun and please people.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I like to live life a little on the edge, to be honest.
On the edge.
Have a little fun. But yeah, I got up there and did the drums. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Now, we talked a little bit about the school side of this. You guys figured out your majors as a freshman. What are we majoring in?
I'm political science.
Political science. Business. What do we plan on doing after basketball with these degrees that you guys will eventually get to?
Yeah, hopefully I'll go to law school after and then become a lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, I like entrepreneurship a lot. I mean, in middle school, I was selling chips and sodas and stuff, so that's how I'd make my money.
Had a little hustle in
Yeah,
school,
I did.
So
So.
you got a side hustle.
You want to know what's funny is when I was little, my younger brother used to sell me top ramen because I would eat my allotment too quick, and then he would sell it back to
Hustling
me.
his own
and he's
sibling.
doing great in business. Don't worry about it.
So he had it all figured out ahead of time. Talk a little bit about your coach, Naomi, and the program. We mentioned Greg Gottlieb, but all your assistants. And you've talked about your teammates, but this whole thing, 10-1 is nice, but it seems like everybody has a fun time just being around each other.
Yeah, I would say we do have a lot of fun, but I think we're surrounded by a good amount of role models. I mean, Stacy's been coaching for San Diego State for a long time, and Greg, he has a lot of experience. John as well, Kelly, all them. Yeah, surrounded by knowledge pretty much.
Now, how excited are you guys? You guys haven't actually made any trips in the Mountain West. It's pretty rigorous in this conference. A lot of cold weather spots. I know you guys spend most of your time in the gym, but are you looking forward to going to some of these places? I'm sure you've heard about at this point, altitude, all that.
Yeah, I would say Wyoming just because I want to they always talk about the altitude and stuff. It's just like I want to experience
it.
You know.
Yeah, you're going to want to experience it until you
wait
actually
until
experience it.
Exactly. Then not anymore.
Get the oxygen tanks out and ready to roll.
Okay, we got to remind everybody they have the San Diego Class. One of the reasons, actually, the main reason they came in was to help promote the San Diego Classic, which is coming up this week. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Viejas Arena. Clemson, Georgia, Colorado State, Stephen F. Austin, Hawaii, and the Aztecs are in the tournament. The Aztecs play Thursday at 3:30 and Saturday at 3:30. If you haven't got a chance, come on out to Viejas Arena. See this team play this year, especially. All right, real quick because we have a few minutes. I told stories that embarrassed them. Now they can tell a story that can embarrass me. Get me back. I was reffing at La Jolla Country Day High School a couple weeks ago. That's where Naomi went. Naomi came to the game, brought Nat and the other two freshmen.
Freshman 4.
Yeah, the freshman 4, Bailey Barnhard and Kaylin Hamilton both came. So all 4 of them were sitting there. I hear some heckling as I'm running up and down the court early in the game. Look over. It's my good friends, Naomi and Nat.
Now, is that the same game you handed out a technical foul?
Coach Terry Banford, who was driving me crazy in that game. But anyway,
Did you that game?
I think it was a major warning is really what it was.
You're getting the business from Coach Terry. Right?
Well, Naomi should know that all referees get the business from her former coach.
Right.
All right, so anyway, your thoughts on my refereeing. You can embarrass me as much as you want.
Can he get up and down the court is what I want to know.
Does he need a walker?
Does he need a walker?
No, he was getting up and down there. There was a lot of fast breaks. But, he called a charge, but it wasn't even a charge.
Whoa.
Was it a blocking foul?
No, he caught a blocking foul when it should have been a charge.
Right. Oh, yeah. And then that's when we started heckling.
They clearly had a discussion about this on the side.
Did you guys see the replay or something? I mean, how are you so sure?
We all saw it, and we're like, what was that, Chris?
Yeah.
What kind of call was that? That's what we're yelling.
That's amazing. That's amazing, actually.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
It's funny.
I
have been saying for years I need to show up to a game and do what you guys did. I just haven't been able to get to a game yet. So I'm glad you guys took care of that.
I'm trying to get to a game so that I can end this thing that Tony and Chris have against me, which is making 3-pointers.
So
talk a little bit about explain the situation to these young ladies. I would imagine they might even invite you out to a practice to try to do this.
So we made a bet with Scrape a few years back about making a 3-point shot, and he went to some kids'
an outdoor
park,
court.
Elementary school or something.
Elementary school where
It wasn't outdoor
the
court.
rims, questionable at 10 feet at this point. And he's claiming he can hit a standard 3-pointer straight on.
And now we've kind of augmented the bet to him making 3 out of 10. And he says that is money
Which
for him.
I did.
All right.
I did.
All right. So we
3
would
out of 10.
I mean, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are both shooting, I think, above that from the arc this year, but you guys are real players. He is far from a real player.
Is it more difficult to shoot outside or more difficult to shoot inside? Because these guys won't give me credit that it happened outside.
We don't believe you is the main problem.
I even filmed a video and showed them.
Nah.
That's what the problem was.
I want to see it in a real gym on a real
ground.
rim with a little pressure, like Nat and Naomi heckling you from the side.
I could make 1 out of 10.
One out of 10 now.
Oh, shoot.
could
We went down.
I could make 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Easy.
Am
Am I doing it from the men's 3-point line? Am I doing it from the high school 3-point line or the women's 3-point line?
Is the 3-point lines the same, isn't it?
Yeah,
for women
men's and women's.
So
yeah.
Okay, so am I doing it from the high school 3 because that is where we were talking
No,
about.
You're not in high school, so
Okay.
you're not shooting it
Well,
from the high school level.
That changes a lot because that is a long shot.
To answer his question,
Yeah, I would say the gym's much
better. Yeah.
Okay.
Legit.
All right, well, I'm going to try to
legit.
do this. I'm going to.
Do you think if we brought him out to practice one day, Coach Sdsu, or like once she went back inside, we could maybe steal a ball out there and see if he could do it?
Yeah.
Is it different
arrange
shooting
that.
in a huge arena?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have the good.
How long did
background,
it take you guys to get used to the depth perception shooting in a arena versus a high school gym? I would assume it's a little bit different.
It was different. I mean, it wasn't as different as everyone thought and said, but it was like the background and the bleachers and the lights, adjusting to that was definitely something.
Yeah, the lights were really bright.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Naomi had no problem last week in Fullerton, though, Tony. I told you she swished one from half court to end the third quarter.
Yeah.
And,
Does Fullerton still have that crazy floor? Did they change it out?
orange and blue, right?
Okay, yeah, they still got the crazy.
It was a little
floor.
crazy. Well, these kids are, they're, like I said, they're wise above their years. And you see them play basketball. It's so fun to watch. And I invite everybody to come out this weekend for the San Diego Classic. Georgia-Clemson, I think, is the first game, is it not? On Thursday, San Diego State plays Thursday. I'm asking Ben Pearson. He's supposed to know all this stuff. Georgia-Clemson.
Put it on poor Ben.
I know. I'm sorry. Georgia-Clemson, they play on Thursday, I think, 1 o'clock. Then these kids play at 3:30 against Stephen F. Austin, and then the Aztecs also play Saturday. But the tournament's 3 days. If you go to a game, if you go on a day, you get 2 games for the price of 1. So there's a doubleheader every day. And, I always tell you guys to come out and see the women's basketball team support. But this year, probably more than ever. And one last thing before you guys go. Championship is kind of what everyone has talked about. Now, last year, before you got here, this team made the final game of the Mountain West. They lost. I know that, the veterans, Kim, Adriana, et cetera, and Coach Terry Hudson especially, they've been talking about, like, we're in it to win it this year. Just speak to that a little bit before you go. Leave us with a little positive vibe. Naomi, go first.
Go.
I finally know how to tongue tie her now because she never stops talking outside this.
I mean, honestly, they say it best. I think ever since this summer, you could kind of tell that this year would be a little different, just how talented we are as a group and how I think everybody can do pretty much everything around the court. So I think just carrying the momentum that they had, like when they made it from the championship and then continuing it to now, I think we have a pretty good chance.
Yeah? You had anything?
Yeah, I think we're a committed group. We know what we need to do to win, and really it's in our hands. We have to execute, and we have everything behind us. We have the coaches, we have the different skills, the playing style, so it's just up to us now to execute.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I think we got everything we need.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I hope you guys had some fun. Appreciate you coming in. We had a good time having you in. And, Tony has 4 daughters? 3 daughters. 3 daughters on a son. 3 daughters. 2 of them play soccer in high school. So he is totally committed to young ladies playing sports.
That is the only reason why I haven't been to one of your games yet.
He does go.
Okay, that's valid.
He's an excellent father,
Don't let
man.
him
He goes
off
out
the
and sees his kids, but don't let these guys off the hook. We got to get these 2 down to one of your games.
For sure.
Nat Martinez, Naomi Panganiban, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.